Donald Trump called criticism of his trip to Asia almost treasonous and threatened to send active duty military into U.S. cities. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Trump has been on an official trip to Asia, and he's been having a blast. He's getting the red carpet treatment, receiving lavish gifts like a golden crown, and dancing like he's trying to towel off his neck in the locker room. I've never seen someone dance with only their arms. He looks like he took dance lessons from one of those old boxing nun puppets. Now you might think this looks a little silly and unserious, but you'd be wrong, because the reviews from right-wing media are in. Trump's trip has been a resounding success.
President Trump is commanding respect around the world like no other leader.
This is an America First agenda. This is what we voted for, strong foreign policy, and you even see the way he's shaking his hand. President Trump has control of that room.
You're complimenting the way he shakes hands. No one in American history has been worse at handshakes than Donald Trump. This is a man who once nearly ripped off the arm of a Supreme Court justice, got trapped in a three-way handshake with the president and first lady of France that lasted so long they had to bring in the jaws of life to get him out. In fact, this is true. There's an entire Wikipedia article called Donald Trump and Handshakes. The first paragraph says, Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th U.S. president and businessman, has unusual approaches to the practice of handshaking. Scholars have noted that politicians' handshakes are usually unnoticed, and only in the case of Trump do they appear to have garnered wide media attention. Our president is so weird, there's an entire body of scholarship dedicated to how strange his handshakes are. Scientists at our finest research institutions are working around the clock to understand the mechanics of the Trump handshake and try to develop a cure. That's why Trump keeps going in for these mysterious doctor's appointments.
We're learning some new details about President Trump's recent visit to Walter Reed Medical Center. The president telling reporters aboard Air Force One today that he received an MRI.
They were trying to isolate the part of his brain responsible for handshakes. Unfortunately, it turns out that's most of his brain. Anyway, the point is, Fox News thinks Trump commanded respect while he was in Asia, and it's hard to argue with that. I mean, just listen to him deliver this expert treatise on, this can't be right, catapults?
I know a lot about these ships. I know a lot about these things building. I want to know catapults, which is better, the electric or the steam? They're spending billions of dollars to build stupid electric. And the problem, when it breaks, you have to send up to MIT, get the most brilliant people in the world, fly them out. It's ridiculous. The steam, they said they can fix it with a hammer and a blowtorch. And it works just as well, if not better. And I love the sight of that beautiful steam pouring off that deck with the electric. You don't have that. I'm going to sign an executive order. When we build aircraft carriers, it's steam for the catapults. They spent $993 million on the catapults, trying to get them to work.
Move over, handshakes. There's about to be a new Wikipedia article. Guy spends more time thinking about catapults than Wile E. Coyote. Next, gonna start complaining about how our troops don't tie themselves to rockets anymore. We used to strap our soldiers to the rockets and they loved it. But then everything got woke and they said you can't tie a person to a rocket, but we miss those days and we're bringing them back. I'll try my best to explain the gist of what he's talking about in a new segment we're calling Seth Translates Trump to English. Aircraft carriers use catapults to help aircraft achieve takeoff speed quickly because they have such a short distance to accelerate. For decades, aircraft catapults used steam, which was costly and labor-intensive, but then the Navy upgraded to an electromagnetic launching system that no longer requires the elaborate system of steam piping necessary to power our catapults. The electromagnetic launching system also allows for smoother and more gradual acceleration, but Trump doesn't like that because he thinks, electricity votes for Democrats or something, and he likes seeing the steam clouds from when the old catapults launched. Experts say it would cost billions to go back to the old system, but Trump thinks he knows more about aviation than everyone else because he dances like one of those guys that holds the signaling sticks on the runway. Anyway, what were we talking about? All right. Trump commanding respect on the world stage. The reviews from Fox News have been unanimous, but if anyone dares to say anything less than glowing, Trump loses his Overnight, he posted this: worked really hard 24/7, took in trillions of dollars. And Chuck Schumer said the trip was a total dud, even though he knows it was a spectacular success. Words like that are almost treasonous. Yeah, he's got a point. The real treason is when your detractors get sassy. People think Benedict Arnold was a traitor because he switched sides during the Revolutionary War, but that's not what got him in trouble. His real crime was handing out pamphlets that said George Washington powders his hair like a bitch. Seriously, stop being mean to Donald Trump. Sure, there's a government shutdown here at home. Millions of children are about to lose food assistance. Military families are struggling. Beef prices are soaring. Farmers are getting crushed. But do you see how hard he's working? Do you know how out of breath he was after dancing for that long? I mean, seriously, look how long he goes. He just doesn't stop. His arms look like they're being powered by, and I hate to say this, an electric catapult. You know what? I think he's right. I think we should go back to steam. Then when Trump dances, it'll look like this. Oh, I like that. I like that. The point is, the man is working hard and it's taking a physical toll. All the weird ailments, like the bruised hand and the swollen ankles, the mysterious doctor's visits, the MRI. The questions about Trump's health have gotten so intense that when there's turbulence on Air Force One, he has to reassure everyone he's not losing it.
These are rough winds in Asia. I must tell you, this is a rough flight. We could have waited an hour, maybe. This is a little tough. These are tough conditions for interviews. You know, they're going to be watching Trump. They're going to say, he didn't look too good. He's got the shakes. I don't have the shakes, but people would think I do.
So my mind never would have jumped to that until you said it, you know, because we all know what turbulence is, you know. Unlike you, we have to fly commercial. In fact, if you fly Spirit, the seats aren't even bolted to the floor. Such an old man thing to say someone has the shakes. They love to call every disease by the name of the symptoms. Yeah, Glenn got the shakes, then he got the sweats. I hope he doesn't get the runs. Wait a minute, maybe Trump does have the shakes. Is this one of the symptoms? The point is, Trump thinks if you say something mean about him, that's treason, which is why on this show, I only do constructive criticism, which I'm being told is also treason. And if you're being treasonous, you better watch out because Trump might send troops into your city.
We have cities that are troubled. We can't have cities that are troubled. And we're sending in our National Guard. And if we need more than the National Guard, we'll send more than the National Guard.
You said you were prepared to send more than the National Guard into American cities.
Sure, I would do that if it was necessary. I'd be allowed to do that, you understand that. And the courts wouldn't get involved, nobody would get involved, and I could send the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, I could send anybody I wanted.
I can send the Army, Air Force, Marines, the Navy, the catapults. We're gonna use the catapults to make our city safe by shooting giant boulders to catch all the nasty roadrunners. I remember a roadrunner came up to me once, big roadrunner, strong roadrunner. Tears pouring out of his beady little cartoon eyes down onto his big yellow beep, and he said to me, sir?
Meep, meep.
Trump considers speech he doesn't like almost treasonous, and that's why he likes going abroad. Here at home, everyone's mad at him because the government's shut down, prices are soaring, people are struggling. But when he goes abroad, they give him lavish gifts like a golden crown or a mobile fast food truck, and that's all he wants. He doesn't want to solve problems. He just wants to go to McDonald's and get the Big Macs, the fries, and
The shakes.
this has been a closer look.